Welcome to Yantra Vidya, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. DASANK, the 10 stages of development of the perfect objects of the divine nature. We have already spoken about the first stage of creation. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery is Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Recap our review of what we have already spoken about it. One thing we have made it very clear, the first stage of creation is equal to 22 by 21. We are given more than enough evidence to prove that each cell is made of 21 parts, and to become a new cell, it has to take 22nd step with the help of division of centrosome into two centrioles. And thereby the whole thing develops. That creation has been very discreetly explained in Upanishads in cryptic stories, which we have also decoded in the thing. For example, solar system can be measured with 21 steps. To go beyond the solar system where there is a freedom, it's the 22nd step. So in other words, it was concluded the first stage of creation is equal to 22 by 21. Now with this background, we also have noticed that all the cycles of glucose, fatty acids and amino acids, which play an important role in creation, development, sustenance and dissolution of the human body, itself goes through 10 stages. We have given more than evidence to prove that too. Now let's also talk about it. 10 stages of inverse Divank sequence, which I already spoken in the last video. If you start from 10, 100 into 100 units as the picture on top, and to go on making a rectangular Divyank rectangle from this square, and then make the structure which resembles Divyank rectangle, a golden rectangle, or spiral galaxy, or whirlpool. At every stage is the same thing. And this picture also shows from 100 into 100 to 1. It involutes or goes the sequence of only 10 stages. But after 10 stages, it becomes less than 1. This is enough proof to say there are 10 stages of development. Now, keeping this particular background in mind, there are 10 stages of this. Can we create a new symbolic representation, a graphic presentation of 22 by 21 leading to this golden rectangle, a Divyank rectangle, a Divyank ratio in a sequence form of 10 stages? I'm sure if nature has this particular design and this is what has emerged, we should be in a position to create a new way of looking at the whole thing and understand concept much more clearly with the help of mathematics and artistic way. This is easy to see. A symbol can be easily understood because we can appreciate its beauty. But if it is mathematical based symbol, it's all the more interesting. So let's see, as I have created this for the first time, can we take 22 by 21 also to show the 10 stages to bring it down to Divyank rectangle, a Divyank ratio? Let's start with that. 10 stage of development of Divyank. To start with, let me first give the first design, a square of 100 into 100. Square, I have created that 21 circles within the square. That means that particular square of 100 into 100 is divided into 21 parts. Please just look at this picture and have it very clear. This is just a starting point of a square alone. We have not spoken about 22 by 21. Okay, there are 21 dots in the middle of this within a square. I'm sure it should not be difficult for anyone to imagine that there are 21 circles or small circles within the topic circle within a square. But this picture will become much more clear in the very next step we take. In the next step you can find this 21 has become 22. You can see the orbit. But this is how the amoeba moves. Similarly, the 21 part have to become 22 parts for the first stage of development, after the first stage of creation. So first stage of development is what this I am talking about. 22 by 21, width is 22 now, height is 21. I'm sure it is very, very clear that this is the first stage of creation, not development. From cell, which is living cell as such, and when it develops into the new one, this is the stage which we are talking about. I'm sure it's absolutely no one should have a difficulty in understanding this particular concept of 22 by 21, the first step of creation of the perfect object of the universe, or the nature, or divine nature. Is that clear? Shall we go to the next one? Okay. In the next one, actually the first stage of 22 into 21 starting. Now you can see I have created two lines. Within two lines, there is another dot, or say small circle, which is equal to one of the 22 circles which you can see in the center. In the center size of the circle, and this circle is identical, is equal to that particular circle, which you can say. I'm sure it's absolutely no difficulty in saying this is the first stage of development. Okay, is that clear? Good. Let's go to the next stage of development. Now I've created a third line, and within second and third line we have created another small circle of the same size which is there in the center of the orbit. Okay, so this is the second stage of development, or 22 into 21 orbit, as it's moving from static position of 21 to first dynamic position of 22 by 21 to the stage of further first stage of development. This is second stage of development. Now let's see. Can you see the circle moving to the next stage? One more. That means it has already taken 3 stages of development. In these 3 stages of development, the size of rectangle has all started increasing. Square was 100 by 100. Then next one, development is a rectangle but small. First stage, little bigger. Second stage, little bigger. Stage 3, still bigger. I'm sure you are able to understand and appreciate how the stages of developments are being unfolded step by step. This is the third stage of development. Now let's move to the fourth stage. We have added one more line and one more circle to the existing one. Now you can see the fourth one, the length and breadth have again increased. Width has increased compared to what it was earlier stages. Is it difficult? And I'm sure not at all. You can definitely, anyone with a common observation, with a good memory from the earlier picture to this picture, you see we have moved to the next stage of development, or the fourth stage of development. See the fifth stage of development of again 22 by 20 times, the moving to another stage. One more line has been added. Within the line, with the previous one, we have put one more small circle of 1 by 21. Now you see the things are moving. At fifth state of development, the size would be halfway through, or halfway of 10 stages. Now you can see it's moving towards right side step by step. I'm sure you should have no difficulty in remembering first stage to second stage to third stage to fourth stage to fifth stage. I'm sure? Good? No problem? Fine. So let's go to the next. Let's add one more circle. Sixth circle. You can see I have put one more circle after the line. And what could be the next one? Also, you can see how things are going to improve over a period. Is there any difficulty in comprehending that with each stage of development, the length is becoming bigger and bigger? Now, at the seventh level, we have put one line alone by the circle which I had already put. To enclose it, now the size is this particular one. You can see the movement going towards right side step by step. And you can also see the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 written under the circles. This is seventh stage of development. At that particular stage, length and breadth will be of this particular ratio. Now we'll go to the eighth stage of development, where you can see it has moved on to one more step of 1 by 21 again. One more line, one more circle is now coming very close to the full picture of the wing rectangle, which is already there, how it's going to cover it up. Now we take it to the next stage of 22 into 21 development, or ninth stage of development. You are coming very close to the deviant rectangle size. I'm sure you should have absolutely no difficulty in understanding and comprehending that we are moving in the right direction, and the image is becoming very clear in my brain as well as your brain. As I told you, I'm the fourth kind of a teacher who makes you do things with your hand so that sensory and motor components also of the brain get activated, and your picture is enforced in all the associated areas of the brain. From there you can remember, recollect much better. This whole process is actually to explain that as a fourth teacher, which the way I teach my student, so that they understand once, bring the picture very clear in left side of the brain, right side of the brain in force, and will never forget. Now I'm sure this is a living example of my style of teaching as the fourth kind of teacher for life. And I'm sure anyone who's literally understanding this would become a super master over a period. And after getting trained in to do this, when they'll start applying that in day-to-day life, in their other subjects, I can tell you, everyone is capable of becoming genius, because we are born with the same potential which I am. Everyone is that. Only thing is, I'm exposed to thinking in this line, but our teachers have not been teaching us to do this way. So I'm making it clear that you learn it and you become a super master over a period, and that is my contribution towards humanity throughout the world for world peace. Now let's go to the 10th step. As you go to the 10th step, you have come very close to the rectangle. But you can still see a little gap. But that gap is not equal to one more circle cannot be added there. Have you noticed that? It is not possible. It's much smaller than that. What could be this particular size is again a question to be looked at. Up to 10 stages, you have more or less come to the rectangle, Divyang rectangle. But unfortunately, it is not fully covered. So it is not 1.618034. It is a little lesser than that particular value it will have. Now let's go to the next 11th step. You can find that we have put one more line. But circle is not complete. It's just a small circle. That means there are 10 stages of development of Divyang plus, but not 11, just 10 plus. What could it be? At this particular stage, we have not calculated what could be the last value of the 11th step. But I can tell you right now, the value is 0.34419. That means it's 1/3 of the circle. You can imagine this is 1/3 is. But the calculation of that with this objective is not at all easy, because it's not possible. We'll have to find some other way of calculating the real value of Divyank, which is 0.34419. We will do that in next video, but I'm sure this particular way of calculating that 22 by 21 to the power of 10 is very close to Divyank ratio could have been. This is the nature design. What I find from Vedas and Upanishads and Indian scriptures is first stage of development is equivalent to 22 by 21, and fortunately it has also been shown in the name of Lord Brahma, who is the Lord of creation at the first stage. That's the reason why I had named the first stage as Brahmank, is the Brahmasank. Now these are 10 stages complete definition. This is another example from ancient Indian wisdom about Dasavatar, 10 reincarnations of God Vishnu, or Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is shown from Matsya, the fish, to Kalki Avatar. There are 10 stages of development or 10 incarnations. DASANK is nothing but a reflection of Dasavatar, 10 stages of development, and 10 avatars of that actually show the development from trigeminal layer, which looks like a fish, the first after the creation of the fetus, and how it is developed in the nervous system and other things, to the final one, which is going to superhuman being as a Kalki avatar. You can see the transition beautiful. I'm not going to talk about it now. I think we'll leave it at this particular stage and say that there are 10 plus stages of development, which could be 10.34419. But I'm also putting at the last line, could have been designed earlier too for conclusions. I think the ancient Indian science of symbolism, or Yantra Vidya, is so powerful that ancients used this particular method to calculate the mathematical design, and I do not know why Murti Puja, or the idol worship of ancient Indian Sanatana Dharma, is ridiculed when on the whole is much better scientific and otherwise this way. We will talk about it as we proceed. Now this picture, very good, we have spoken about it. Right on top you can see circle which represents Divyank only. We will talk about that in later thing. So thank you very much for your kind listening and encouragement. May God bless us with better and better impeccable wisdom in due course. Thank you.